Let's talk about one area in which like the future is here and it's scary, and that is deep fakes. As a newswoman, these terrify me. I mean, it's not too long in the future that everything we run, we're going to have to ask ourselves, is that the actual Rochelle Walensky, Anthony Fauci, Joe Biden, or is that a deep fake? I have two that my team put together to show the audience and people who are listening to this. Go check out our YouTube. We posted about 2 hours after the show ends, youtube.com/Megyn Kelly, because you've got to see these examples. One I've seen, one I haven't. The first is Richard Nixon. So apparently they released a transcript recently of the speech Richard Nixon was going to give if Apollo 11 didn't end well, if everybody died. And it was a paper transcript. He never, thank God, had to deliver that speech, but they put together a deep fake showing him allegedly doing it, quote, him allegedly doing it. And here it is. Part of it.
My fellow Americans, fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. For every human being who looks up at the moon in the nights to come will know that there is some corner of another world that is forever mankind.
So that never happened. I mean, that's like, we have to remind ourselves that looks like it happened, but it didn't happen. It's a deep fake.
It reminds me of the one that the Times put together of JFK delivering his speech that he would have given in Dallas. So they managed to put the voice fakery together. But there are many companies working on this. So voice deep fakes, as we might think of it, that are building these interactive AI that are taking all of these snippets from people's speeches or conversations or appearances, logging it, recording it, in anticipation of when that person is no longer alive, they'll still be able to create a conversation and create a language and get the correct intonation, so that there is some sense of, they'll call it the digital afterlife. So if somebody passes, then you can still have a conversation with them. I mean, there are so many apps now doing this and quite a lot of services.
Who thinks of the responses? Is it,
it's really sophisticated.
Yeah, but like I can see how they could fake, okay, read the Richard Nixon speech. But how do they have somebody have a conversation with you? I mean, somebody has to do the thinking in terms of responses.
Yeah, and that's what the AI does, because it's so sophisticated you can do that. There's a company called Hereafter AI. The guy lost his father, but before he did, because he knew he was terminally ill, he recorded a lot of the conversations so that when he passed, he could still have these conversations. Now, one knows they're not real, of course, but in terms of having some value, it turns out that it's of some comfort to some people, and that they can feel that somebody's still with them and around.
Well, it's kind of like Kim Kardashian had that birthday party and Kanye West, when they were still together, had a hologram of her dead dad, Robert Kardashian, show up and with a message, which no, thank you. I would not want that. Okay, two more on this front, because we do have the voice as well, this Adobe Voice Photoshop. It was so realistic, they didn't release it because they knew it could be misused. I'll get to that in 1 second, but I'm dying to see. My team has one of me, a deep fake of me from the movie Snow White and the Huntsman, which I haven't yet seen. We will see it together. Now, here we go. Oh, it's just showing my face. Oh, that's so weird. Oh, well, this version of me is much more attractive than the real deal. Whoever played Snow White and the Huntsman was had a very good looking body. That one I didn't find as realistic. Okay, it's fine. They kind of just smushed my face into this body. But let's listen to the Adobe Voice Photoshop, where you set it up, Tracey, because apparently like this technology is so good, they realized they could never release it to the public. It would be misused.
I don't think I've seen this one, actually.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, then let's just listen to it together.
Let's comment on it. Let's have a look at it, yeah.
Here we go.
Introducing Project Vocal. Project Vocal allows you to edit speech in text. So let's bring it up. So I'll just load this audio piece into Vocal.
I jumped on the bed and I kissed my dogs and my wife, in that order.
Yeah, so how about we mess with who he actually kissed? And here we go.
And I kissed Jordan and my dogs.
Well,
You a witch.
we can actually type small phrases. So let's say, and playback.
And I kissed Jordan 3 times.
So Jordan Peele is one of the guys involved there. So those phrases were never uttered by the speaker. They were made up by the computer, and they sound exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think this could be misused, not only the voice, but the visual and the deep fake in general, in ways that, forget news people have to deal with. This could lead to wars. This could be, it could be potentially catastrophic.
Oh, it could be. And first off, it'll become a massive industry. And then, obviously, it can be weaponized, as you quite rightly point out, and it is to some extent already. There's a thought that we will have to have some kind of digital forensics around this, some tools, because we're not going to be able to tell the difference between the real and the fake ourselves. It's going to pass us by. We just can't do that as humans. But we will need some sort of algorithmic tools. We'll need some sort of AI as an assistive service, probably, to try and detect what's real and what's fake. But of course, then you're becoming very, very dependent upon more and more machine learning and more AI, and not making these decisions or these judgments oneself, because one can't.
Well, that's what worries me. So I like technology. I feel like it's exciting. And for the most part, it can enhance your life. But as with the iPhone, I tend to love it and hate it in equal degrees. So the technology can be used against us. And I was thinking about it when I was looking at the Apple AirTag, right? Mm-hmm. And this is something where you can use it to track every movement that you make. So if you don't want to lose your keys or your dog or your wallet, you could put an Apple ID tag on it. But this has already potentially been used, I guess, by stalkers against victims, right? Thieves, right? So there's, how do we reconcile that conflict?
We have to get more engaged in this, and people need to understand some of this technology better, or certainly its implications. I think one of the things that's happening a lot with the internet is it's incredibly, obviously it's connected and it's making us all interconnected, but it's pushing us all together to behave in a certain way together and really creating a collectivism. And that is in turn creating a groupthink. And anybody who has a dissenting voice or a different opinion isn't kind of going along with this collectivism. And what I'm trying to say is it's very important that we have our individual identity and autonomy over our identity. So if we feel some of these technologies are sacrificing that, and I think with some of the stuff you've just been talking about, deep fakes or even tracking or surveillance, it can be that we then succumb to this technology that then has become so powerful or has a sense of control over us rather than us controlling it. And there's no other way around it other than us trying to make ourselves more cognizant of it, more aware of it, and understand the implications and bring that to the debate and the discussion.